Mr. Ambassador, good afternoon from me. We have, I hope we're going to have a very interesting and newsworthy discussion with Willkommen. You can join us here, thank you. Yes. So, good afternoon again. Allow me to welcome Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany, Mr. Ernst Reichel. And his presence in Thessaloniki is very significant because Germany is going to be the honor country in TIF 2020. Thank you for being here in Thessaloniki Summit, Mr. Ambassador. And let me ask you what are Germany's goals next year, next September in TIF? What are we going to expect?
Well, first of all, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the invitation. Yes, we are geared up to make our participation in Thessaloniki International Fair next year a success. We intend to do not only technology and business, as is common and something that Germany is known for, but we also want to do science, we want to do culture. After all, this is a fair which is not only business to business, but it is mainly a place for people to enjoy themselves and to get I don't know to have a good time. So everything will come together. Also before and after the actual fair, we intend to do things. If people are very impatient, they can already go to the book fair here in Thessaloniki, where Germany will be the country of honor, if you like. So there's a lot we intend to do, and I'm confident we are already in full swing working at it, and I think it's going to be good. And the second point, maybe we have set up a sequence of events which lead us up to the culmination, which is the Thessaloniki International Fair. Beginning this Monday, if you are interested, in Athens, an innovation forum which brings together German business with new innovative Greek firms. Then there is, beginning of next year, a Green Growth Conference in Berlin, which our two leaders, Chancellor Merkel and Prime Minister Mitsotakis, agreed upon. And then ultimately, you see, as the big highlight, the Thessaloniki International Fair. What happens afterwards, I can't tell you yet.
Well, okay, you cannot tell me now, but I have to ask you because we know Germany is going to hold the presidency of the European Council the second semester of 2020. So I was wondering if you already know or you have some information about in which level that Germany is going to be represented in next TIF. Are we going to have any ministers? In which level the officials are going to be here? And in business terms, what companies have already paid interest to come here and to be present in Thessaloniki? Because TIF is not very well known in German people.
Well, I think as for the firms, I think I don't want to give everything away just now and anyway, we are in the process of acquiring firms to come, but I can promise you that it's going to be interesting for everybody. The motto of what we are going to try to do here is called, difficult to translate from German into English, something like areas of life. We will have a sort of parcours which takes you through the 6,000 square meters of the hall. And so people can have different experiences, be it ecology, be it technology like we just spoke about. All this will come together, science and culture. I think this is the kind of concept that we have. As for the participation, well, you are right to mention the EU presidency, which we happen to have in the second half of 2020. That is an opportunity and a handicap at the same time. An opportunity because it opens the way, maybe like this conference actually, to not only focus on the city and the surrounding Greek areas, but also the region beyond the borders. And At the same time, the presidency is a handicap because you have to imagine each and every minister in my government will have to chair meetings at a pretty high frequency, and that on top of the regular day job they actually have. So if you look at that, it is of course a challenge. But the best I can say right now is we are in the same boat here. You here in Thessaloniki and myself, we all want there to be very good presence from Germany.
Let's move on now to politics. Since we are in Thessaloniki, tonight we're going to have a meeting of Prime Minister, the Greek Prime Minister Mitsotakis, and the Prime Minister of North Macedonia, Zoran Zaev. We know that Germany supported PRESMA agreement, but because of France in the European Council, North Macedonia didn't manage to get the green light to start the negotiations. And I would like to ask you, do you estimate that the veto of France was justified? Was it wrong? And what is your position regarding the enlargement process in the Western Balkans?
I would not single out individual countries inside the European EU, that is inside the European Union, that is bad practice. But I would say it is unfortunate that the EU has not been able to agree on the opening of accession negotiations, both with Northern Macedonia and with Albania. And as far as my government is concerned, our interest is to re-establish, to maintain the accession prospect of both countries, as in fact of the entire Western Balkans, which was decided exactly in this place in Thessaloniki in 2003. And we would like to see the European Council and other bodies in the European Union come back to this issue as soon as possible. In fact, my Minister Heiko Maas just visited Skopje and had this message that he wants the two countries not to lose their faith in their prospects to ultimately join the European Union.
My last question will be about the refugee crisis. And it's widely said that Europe's approach has created the crisis of solidarity, and that more or less Greece is left alone, and Europe should share the burden. What's the Germany's position on the refugee crisis?
I'm happy to say, makes my life comfortable here. We very much agree with the positions Greece has. We are also of the opinion that we need a reform of the Dublin system of dealing with migration, that we need to find a solution which offers more solidarity to the countries in the periphery, which have to take the first blow of migrants as they come. This will be, if I'm not completely wrong, my expectation would be that this would be also part of the pretty heavy agenda we Germany are going to have as the presidency in the European Union in the second half of 2020.
Because we're going to have the elections in North Macedonia in April, so we're going to have maybe it's been discussed the North Macedonia issue during the Germany's presidency.
I was now speaking about migration, right? Maybe I would add on migration, I would add one thing, and that is the part of the problem is the problem we have in the European Union with migration, of handling migration as a fact of life, is not only the internal EU regulations, but it is also the good functioning of the EU-Turkey joint declaration. And my government has a keen interest in maintaining this agreement to make it work to the full. Making it work to the full means, of course, that Turkey does whatever it can to control the flow of migrants to the islands, but at the same time, of course, also that Greece becomes able to speed up its asylum processes to the point where they can return people to Turkey as agreed in this declaration. I'm fully aware that this is exactly what this government is trying to achieve, and we are in full support of this effort and are offering our help in whatever way the Greek side thinks it can be useful.
I agree with you that both countries, Greece and Turkey, should do more for the refugee crisis and for the agreement of 2016, and the European Union should be more supportive to Greece and to share the burden of the refugees. Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador, for this interesting talk. It was nice talking to you and newsworthy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.